So, it is day 131, and in case you haven't noticed, guys, yes, a little bit of a change in location because, we are really here. We really are now in London. And, oh, where has the day gone is the question I'm going to ask because it's only about quarter past 5 in the afternoon. And for what they're worth, I'm going to talk you through a little bit about what the journey has been like so far. So to begin with, I got myself to the big station at about 8 o'clock. I managed to get myself, like lunch sorted and stuff like that. For by the time I get down, so by the time we arrive, well, let's talk about the journey itself because literally from the moment I got on the train and I sat around for about 20 minutes before we finally moved off, I must be honest, I have like almost not. This must be one of the very few days that I have literally not stopped smiling from start to finish because honestly, even people were sort of like that they looked at it like in amazement at me, like they couldn't work out why I was just like so happy, and I must have been a sight, eh? And I'll tell you one thing that did happen is that I might share with you a little bit about sort of what being so happy actually led to, maybe when we're on the journey back. But needless to say, the journey itself was 3 hours does sound quite long. Don't get me wrong, and I did make some interesting notes about the journey for what they're worth, mostly about sort of like the landscape. Because to be honest, um, from the major stops at Durham, Darlington, York, Grantham, Stevenage, and then finally getting into King's Cross. Not too much really stands out apart from you don't really begin. Listen, as a northerner, you don't really begin to notice much changes when you travel southwards until at least on the train until you are roughly past Milton Keynes. That's sort of when it became noticeable to me. And then almost like in the last 5 minutes of the journey, it was like still nothing, nothing, nothing. And then all of a sudden, you saw Emirates Stadium just outside the window. And I am absolutely chuffed that I got a window seat because literally, I had no idea as we were going past Finsbury Park, Emirates is massive. Like you can't quite believe just how big this thing really is, and I'm gonna spend a little bit of an interesting evening trying to work out what exactly I really do want to go see because the original plan was that because obviously I'm in Hammersmith, and the good thing about the Hammersmith and Circle lines is that there are some really cool sites I really want to go see. Like, for example, I had to go past Paddington Bear Station, but I also got to go past part of the Circle line that has other things, Notting Hill and Westminster. And Westminster actually, for you know what, actually does sound like that's a little bit up my alley. And I think maybe Westminster is like the first place to go because let me tell you through a little bit what I'm planning to do tomorrow is that breakfast here is served from like 6:30 to about 10 o'clock. I plan on getting my butt down to breakfast at about 7 o'clock and then leaving at about just before 8 o'clock. So I want to get in a good like 8 hours of sightseeing and then uh come home, have a shower, possibly go out for dinner tomorrow night, and because tomorrow night is a Friday, just to enjoy a fun evening and to see what goes on. Where I would go in the evening, however, that's a bit more of an interesting port of call because I'd imagine Piccadilly is what I heard is where a lot of things go on around there. But we'll just we'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens. But whilst all that is going on, yeah, honestly, I'm beginning to think I really am now starting to see what people say, that you needed at least like 3 or 4 days just to get your head around everything that happens here in London. Because honestly, I actually can't believe it that I am here in London. I generally cannot believe it. And it hasn't even dawned on me yet that this I'm literally here all on me Todd, so to speak, on my own. And yeah, it's kind of surreal. And yeah, probably because it is a little bit of a drastic change of environment, but never mind, eh? So yeah, lots to do tomorrow, and well, we'll get out to make the most of it, eh? So I'll see you all guys again next time. Thank you.